So here's how I like to make my granny squares. I'm going to start with a magic ring and start with 2 chains. And these 2 chains do not count as a stitch. And then I'm going to work 3 double crochet into the ring. There's the first cluster, then chain 2, and then work another 3 double crochet. Chain 2, and then 3 double crochet again. And chain 2, and then this will be our last 3 double crochet cluster. And then I can just pull on this yarn tail to close the ring. And instead of slip stitching into this first stitch, there's a little trick I learned. I don't remember who I learned this from, but I love this particular way of joining. I'm going to make a half double crochet into this first stitch. And then that way, when I start my next round, I just start again from here, so chain 2, and this doesn't count as a stitch. And also, as I go, I like to grab whatever yarn end I've got going and just sort of try to weave it in as I go. So now for the second round, I'm going to work 3 double crochet into this space underneath the half double crochet. And that is our half of a corner here. And then I'm going to skip this cluster and then work 3 double crochet into the next chain space. Then chain 2, and then make 3 double crochet into that same chain space. And then repeat that. So into the next one, I'll do the same thing, making 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochet. And then at the end, I'm just going to work 3 double crochet to finish off that corner. And just like I did before, I'm going to work a half double crochet into the first stitch. So this is where, if you were doing a solid granny square, you would just continue with the same color. But I'm going to switch to the next color in my color scheme. So it's this color called Sky. So here, when I'm changing colors, I just keep sort of a bit of attention on the working yarn that I'm about to stop working with. And then I grab the next yarn and I complete the stitch. So now I've joined my new yarn, and just this is another thing that I like to do when I join new yarn. I just grab both the working yarn and the tail of the new yarn, and I work the first chain with both strands together. and then my second chain. So chain 2 to start the next round. And when it comes to weaving in your ends, of course, I will be weaving in the ends at the end of this, but I also like to just sort of trap it in so that it's nice and secure as I'm working. So I'm going to work my first double crochet into this space underneath the half double crochet, pull this through, and then this is just my personal preference. You don't have to do this, but I like to sort of bring the previous yarn and the tail end of the new yarn sort of over, drape it over to trap it in as I'm working my next stitch. So here's my first double crochet, and then again I'm just going to bring this over here and work my second double crochet. And then continuing to trap these two in there for my third double crochet. All right, so now I can just cut the yarn on this one, and I'm leaving a bit of a tail so that I can weave that in later on. And then I can continue. So I'm going to work 3 double crochet into this space in between the clusters here. And then do the same thing as before, working 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet into each of the chain 2 spaces. To the end, I'm working 3 double crochet into this corner and then finishing it with a half double crochet into the first stitch. And that is basically it. This is how I like to make my granny squares. And after this, I could just continue on chain 2 and then working the same 3 double crochets and chain 2, 3 double crochet into the same corner space. I would just continue working in the rounds until I'm happy with the size, and then I would just block it to have some neater edges, and that's it. The granny square is super easy and fun and versatile project, and it's great for beginners, and there's so many uses for granny squares. This granny square in particular that I'm working on is part of a vest that I will be sharing. So I hope you liked this quick tutorial on how to make a granny square, and if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.